Frame me,
Ah,
but it didn't
so
frame
that's
you.
why.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're live. Let me switch to the
Brian
right
won't
camera
be
here.
on camera. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you will.
Da, 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 da,
As soon
da,
as I
da,
find where
da,
my
da.
mouse went. There we go.
This is what happens when we go live. Live da da da. Oh, oh, hello.
Oh, hey,
Oh,
everybody. Yes, we are
hi,
here tonight.
everybody.
We're live. Brian and myself. Let me see
Uh,
if I can just flip him over a little bit. Flip him over a little bit. Let me just see if I can move him over a little bit. No, I just have to pan you a little bit. There you go. Oh,
hurrah, hurrah.
yeah, that's better.
There we go.
There we go.
I'm just
Hey,
getting all
there's.
this pop-up chat, and yeah.
I have the chat open. I can see that we've got 3D Medic Vince. We've got John Kitchen. Welcome, guys. This is kind of an impromptu live stream. I was going to upload a new episode today, but I decided not to because it's been a very crazy week around here.
How
And
impromptu is it? It is this level of impromptu.
yeah, exactly. I'm kind of in the same boat.
Yes, hats for cover-up.
I just have a lot less hair than you. So
Oh,
there's
good
High
time.
Tech Redneck.
Good
We've
time.
got Sean Gould, Paul Cumber, Johnny Gardner, and RT. Good evening, everybody. Isolation sucks. Brian, you've been in isolation for about a week now, right? 10 days, 15,
Yeah,
14?
actually, it's only been about a week.
Oh,
It's
really?
voluntary there. Yeah, yeah. Our roommate got sick, and so as a precaution, even though we were not required to self isolate, we self isolated. And then
Right.
Jess wasn't feeling well today, so now she has to self isolate, and the
Gotcha.
rest of us, it's kind of a limbo thing. So I'm
Gotcha.
working from home, and I'm losing my mind.
I'm working from home as well. I'm going to be for the next 10 days. I don't go back to work until the 6th at Spool 3D. So I'm here this week. I've brought a lot of gear home, so we're going to set up, my wife and I, here over the next day or two, or finish setting up, and we're going to start recording content for you guys out there. A few more people to say hello to. There's Dave Tellman. He's the last one. We are taking questions tonight if you guys want to ask questions. I want to let you know straight up that tonight's episode or live stream is not monetized. We did not monetize this because there's some important things we want to talk about in the 3D printing community that relate to the current situation in the world. And especially here at home, I found out some interesting news. Hello, Larry, 1980s. When is this going to last? Or how long is this going to last? Nobody knows. But this,
Hopefully, hopefully, just long enough that I have enough PLA.
yeah, yeah. I brought all of the filament home that I had in all the bins in my office. I brought it all home and found out that I've got like little to no PETG. I've got
Oh
little to
no!
no ABS. I've
Ooh.
got lots of remnants of PLA, but
Yeah, that's how it
um,
goes. I went to my storage locker a couple of weeks ago and I found a bin that had about 20 rolls with less than 20% on them.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, so we're all kind of in the same boat. We're going to do some interesting stuff. Why we decided to do this tonight was because I was really unsure of how I was going to tackle this issue tonight, and um, after talking with Brian a little bit about it, and working through my own demons, I decided that we've got a few things we want to talk about in relationship to COVID-19 and the 3D printing community, especially here in Canada. So we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to take your questions as well. Tomorrow night is still going to be our Ask for Help. So all the questions that came in this week, we are going to tackle those tomorrow night. So if you've got questions that you want answered on Ask for Help, just if you can, hold on to them till tomorrow.
Or
But we
send your
are
email.
or send an email to info@thefirstlayer.com, which would be this one
Is it
right
info or
here,
questions?
right there. Yeah, so send your questions there. We'll take them all the way up until tomorrow noon, and we may even take them right up to showtime. We don't know. See how fast we can get to things. So check those out. There's the links over on this side. Right down there, there's all the information. Send your questions to questions@thefirstlayer.com, and we will answer them for you tomorrow night. Getting back to my good friend Brian and I. Um, Let me see what are people saying. You guys looking great, Larry 1980 says. Well, thank you. There's
Thanks,
Dan
Larry.
Borio. I hope I said that right and I didn't butcher it. Dan Borio. Have you seen the Ender extender? Yes, I have seen the Ender extender.
Oh, where to start
Um,
on that? I've been working and talking with Mark for a long time on that project, and if you saw my giant extender or giant ender, because I'm going to call it the giant ender, in my last video, you can check it out on the channel. You'll notice that my extrusion went beyond the screen, and that's because I did the unofficial ender extender, aka I worked with Mark, got his advice, and did it myself because cost was prohibitively expensive to bring his product into Canada.
so we've got Miles Clayton. We've got our good friend Jerry Knapp, 3D printing and painting. He says, "Woo! Let's play RC Crazy Days." Yes, they certainly are crazy days. Um, Let me just say this. Here in Calgary, we found out today that 3D printed devices, medical devices during this crisis, are not being accepted. And the
At least
reason I
where we
was,
are.
yeah, at least where we are. The reason that I was given was because it's really hard for them to sterilize these things, apparently. They don't know what to do with them. People have been dropping off 3D printed parts like this. This is for the Prusa face mask, which will get an elastic around the backside here, and then your face mask goes on the front. It has the required medical distance in it. I printed this one in PETG in black, and of course it's black. I love black, so I have not put a shield on it because I haven't felt the need to put a shield on it. This is the revision 2, so it does have the proper distancing, and it comes with the little portion on the bottom so it can help with the curvature of the shield. If you are making these locally for your local hospital, especially here in Canada, check with your local municipality, see if your hospitals are accepting them before you go out and print, 20, 40, 60 of these things and then donate them and drop them off because they may just end up in the garbage. And I don't want all your good faith and your hard work to go to waste and just end up in the garbage because nobody knows what to do with these damn things. Yeah, this is right now here in Canada, at least here in Alberta and in Calgary, they're not accepting these. That's something to be aware of for anybody in the Calgary area. Please check with check with your local hospitals, check with your local municipalities, see if they are accepting them. This is another one that I found on Thingiverse. It doesn't have the bottom shield, but it has little hooks to put the face shield in, and then it's got a nice little tensioner on the back here to put your elastic on. This one's just made out of PLA. It is very different around the world of who's accepting what. Again, I don't know the exact number, but apparently this germ or virus can live on plastic for a certain amount of days. So I think that's part of the reason that they're not sure about accepting
Now,
them.
my understanding was they were designed to be 100% disposable, so single
Yeah.
use, toss in the garbage. But that being said, um, things are changing daily. I saw that the version 2 was approved by certain health authorities around the world, but the version 3 is now out. I don't know how that makes any kind of variance, but bear in mind, and I know there's been a lot of conversation about free printing of medical products versus the real expensive versions, and talking about how bad companies are and all that. At the end of the day, there is a medical certification process that does increase the price significantly. Now, at the end of the day, it will probably be cheaper for you to print one, but there are variances and compliances, and I hate to say leave it to the experts on this one, but I really would, because if you go to a guy like Prusa who's got a farm, he has design tolerances, he knows exactly how every single one of his machines are going to come out. That may be different than you working at home too. So, if the hospitals are asking for them, donate them, but don't just show up with them because, as we've said, especially out here, they're not accepting them currently. maybe it's just purely because of demand at this stage, or it's just too new on the front. But find out other ways that you can support. Instead of buying that roll of film and donate to your local hospital
Yeah.
or to medical staff, or if you know people that work in the medical field, if there's things that could help them around their daily lives at home, print out something for them.
Willix from Banggood reached out to me the other night, and she was asking me if I was going to be printing any medical devices like these shields and things like that. And I had told her yes. And she reminded me that Banggood is doing everything they can to get face masks and shields and all that kind of stuff out as fast as possible worldwide. And they reduced the price by 40% on a lot of their products. So if you guys are interested, go check out Banggood and see what they've got, and maybe let your local municipality know that these things are available and they're doing their utmost best to get them out in a very timely and quick manner to people. So that was something I was quite impressed by, that they reached out to me and asked me about that. Let's see. Go ahead.
I was going to say we can start throwing out some advice that we could give, being in the scenario we've been, and hopefully to get you guys ahead before realistically the inevitable circumstance comes in where you may need to be isolated for 14 days. So from my standpoint, look over your printers, find out which consumable parts you're going to need, and get them in the order queue now, because who knows when they're going to show up. This afternoon I broke a wire on my thermistor, and I had just replaced that one, so I was running low on. Luckily, I had enough connectors and solder to reconnect it and go. But if I didn't, that machine could be out for 14 days.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
It's time to think ahead and do what we like to call preventative maintenance versus reactive maintenance. Oh, you just want to get
mic's in my
that mic.
shot. Excuse me.
the lingering doom up there.
Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's better. It's not in my, well, it is kind of a little bit right there. Right there.
So just going through the chat here, Sean Gould saying that that's the problem with the 3D printed masks. They're essentially a one-time use since the heat to sterilize them would melt them. 100% correct. And I have seen, this is the problem with misinformation during this crisis. I've seen some hints at UV capable of destroying or at least killing the bit of the virus, but it doesn't. There's no evidence, right? So
yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, treat everything like that as disposable. Hoppy saying my medical center is asking for them. German printing nerds saying they won't be accepted in any hospital in Germany. Maker 3D printings. We are printing face shields in Colorado, and the hospitals are taking them. That's awesome. Again, Lachlan saying, I think we should 3D print hands so we can have handshakes.
That's actually not a bad idea. Now, Joel, telling anybody who knows him by the 3D printing nerd, Joel created a high five slap hand. So basically what you do, and if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. And I don't know why I need to plug his channel, but go check it out. It's kind of a neat thing, but it's kind of unique to him. He's just made himself a big high five hand, puts it in a holster, wears it on his belt so he can high five people still, and it's plastic to plastic contact, which is kind of cool. I thought about doing a fist bump, but not everybody wants to have a fist bump that looks like a pair of truck nuts. So
or how we say hello in Canada, and I would normally say demonetized, but
we're not going to get demonetized tonight because we're not monetizing this episode. And the reason that we're not doing it is because I don't want to take money for stuff that we're talking about in such a pandemic. Okay, so that's why. If you
guys want to spend money tonight, donate it to people who are right on the front lines. Okay, donate it to your nurses union. Donate it, even if you want to keep it within the community. Talk to someone like Joseph Prusha and see if he's accepting donations to help his printer farm go with these causes. Donate it right to the front lines, because that's where it's going to matter the most.
So RT, our good friend Richard, says Global News said that all the electronic stores will be told to close down pretty soon. Did you see this? I did see this, and it's not just electronic stores. It's any non-essential service store or retail outlet. That means clothing stores. That means big box stores like Best Buy and places like that. Bed Bath and Beyond. Any place that's not an essential service is going to be asked to shut down. If you have a online component to your business, then they're asking you to shut down your showrooms. I had a talk with Derek today about this. I'm off until the 6th. The showroom at Spool 3D, just so anybody local knows, is closed right now. The only way that you can get anything from Spool 3D is by ordering it online, and they are only accepting prepaid pickups. So they can arrange a time for a pickup for somebody to come down and pick up their goods, for anybody that needs to have curbside pickup. So there is a curbside pickup service there. I haven't talked to my good friend Ron out at filaments.ca, but I do believe they are still shipping products from filaments.ca.
Yes, I just saw that update this afternoon. It's the same as Spool 3D. So curbside pickup options available, shipping as well. The key thing up here in Canada is, although every non-essential service is shut down, it's more so referring to customer-facing services. So chances are your favorite business, even some like Memory Express, Solar Bonics here in Calgary, as far as I know, legally they are still allowed to operate. Now they may choose to shut down, but legally they are still allowed to operate with an online component and very, very limited curbside pickup options. So if you're very desperate, go that route. But even as I was just talking to Richard here before the show, I went on to Amazon Canada, and a lot of PLA filament is still showing next few days delivery as an option. So, if you do need something, I'm just going to say it, go ahead and order some right now. I'm stuck for a bit, so I'm letting you guys have it.
Oh, there you go. I have enough material here at home to get me through whatever little crisis we're going through right now. As you can tell, it's a little bit brighter in here than it normally is because I'm using some different lights tonight. I actually grabbed some of my studio lights from the shop, brought home all of my recording gear from the shop, with the exception of, the mics and stuff like that. I've already got a mic here, so I don't need another one. Or I don't need two more just to hang around in my house. So I've got still stuff in my office, but my office is closed at Spool 3D for at least the length of this pandemic. So,
yeah, I just wanted to put a quick shout out here because I just saw us in the chat. Chris Travis says he's for Abbott Laboratories, and they've developed a molecular test for COVID-19 a couple weeks ago and shipped 150,000 tests out to hospitals and ramped up to production to 1 million units per week. So, Chris, thumbs up, man. Great job with your company there.
Man.
We appreciate your efforts all around the world.
That is amazing. That is amazing. Good on you, and a good pat on the back for that as well.
And you know what? I want you guys to give thumbs up to all these guys out there. Let's see it in the chat. Thumbs up to everybody who's making a difference during this crisis. Although I can't submit materials, I'm doing my part by staying at home and keeping out of the public, and hopefully we'll flatten this curve.
And that's something that I think we all should do is, if you don't have to be somewhere, don't be somewhere. Stay at home, keep it contained. Let's not spread this any faster. Right now, I've heard on the news that the U.S. has more cases of COVID-19 than anywhere else in the world. And that is disturbing because they're our neighbors to the south. And Canada's been pretty low in terms of numbers all across our country. And as far as death toll goes in our country, it's been very, very low. And as much as I have a lot of great friends down in the U.S., please stay at home. Stay where you are, stay with your family, enjoy your time off. If your government is allowing you to take this time, then take this time and stay home and really help save a life, for lack of a better word.
If your spouse is driving you crazy, just reinstall your original printer board and let the wine drown it out.
Or find the noisiest printer that you've had in mothballs for a while and just turn it on.
Just turn off Stealth Chop, okay?
Paul Berry is saying New Zealand is in full lockdown, not to leave your homes. So
honestly, Canada is unofficially there.
Yeah, we're unofficially there. So here's what you guys can do while we're sitting at home doing nothing. Get on those maker coins. We've had some
Yes.
submitted already. There are 4 up in the Drive, the Google Drive. If you don't know how to get to that Google Drive, it is over on our Facebook page, so you can go there and get your coin up there. Remember, we're looking for a distance of 50 millimeters across, so it doesn't have to be round. People have
Well,
been asking me about that. Does it have to be round? It doesn't have to be round as long as it's 50 millimeters. So at the end, we can do something really cool and print all of these and put them on a great big board or a plaque or something that we'll have done. And we'll call this our 2020 We Were Stuck at Home Isolation Sucks board.
and maybe we can. Maybe if that maker fair finally happens again, we can bring it.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I know that there's been an official announcement that for any of our viewers that are here locally or that come to our Calgary Expo every year, Calgary Expo has been officially postponed. They are looking at a date in the summer right now, so I'm thinking they're looking at July or early August. Right now, all the schools are closed down here, as far as I know, and teachers are now working from home, so they're telecommuting to their students and trying to keep students going. But I don't think there's going to be any exams for grade 12 students, if I remember right.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
that's
stuff
okay.
going on.
The truth is, it changes every day out here. So
Yeah,
that's
it
why
does change every day.
in these times you got to think about the absolutes, right? That's why I'm talking about printer maintenance and all that, because whatever's happening in the world is not going to impact your machine. And when you spend all day beside it, you want it to run nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Chris Travis is asking, you can make a wall display for the coins? And I will make a wall display for the coins. We are accepting coins until the end of August, I think we said. I can't remember. Go back to our last live
Yeah,
stream.
we'll have to check it out.
And then we're going to get them all together. We're going to have them all printed out, and we're going to put them on a great big plaque of some sort that we'll make or have made. Being that I'm a bit of a woodworker myself, so I can make a big plaque, nice wooden plaque for it.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome, actually.
Hey, Sausage is here. Good afternoon. Sorry, I'm late. He says it's okay, Sausage. We didn't really plan this. We kind of planned this at about 3:00 this afternoon. So.
Oh, yeah, and everyone's starting to talk about our favorite website this week, Thingiverse. Oh
Wah,
boy.
wah, wah.
Okay. My too long didn't read is that their main framework update was to allow more advertising. They've got an ad in the search results, and they got an ad on the individual item page, which does go away once you sign in, by the way. But whatever, even the loading is not really a big issue for me. It is the garbage search. And so I talked about it briefly, but it seems every other YouTuber jumped on it. So I'm just going to tell you, go to yeggi.com, YEGGI.com,
Yeah.
and it has a better search. If you don't want to go to a third-party site, go to Google, and if you search up Thingiverse on your search results page, you can search within Thingiverse.com. I'll look up the exact keyword, and I'll post it in the chat here.
Well,
for you
I
guys.
can tell you from my experience on Thingiverse today, all of my searches actually were pretty good. So I don't like the new interface that they have. I'll be perfectly honest about that. But my searches today were actually almost dead on for anything that I was searching for. Yesterday, however, was just a nightmare. And, since they made the change to their new look, it was just a nightmare. But today, it seems like they've got some of those issues ironed out. So go ahead and check them again today if you want. There's also a lot of great places that you can go. If you've got a couple extra coins and you want to throw them towards a designer, and believe me, I really think that everybody should. You can check out My Mini Factory. Now they have both free and paid models over there. Cults 3D, CULTS 3D. .com is another one that you can check out. That's got a lot of paid and some free models on it as well. What's another one that I use? I use Gambody quite a bit. Again, go check out some of our great designers like Malix3design.com. Go to fab365.com. There's a lot of great options out there. Clayton, or as you guys know him, Uncle Jesse, he just recently posted a list of alternatives to Thingiverse if you are into that. And you can always go and check him out.
I was just trying to figure out the exact websites that Yegi searches. That's my problem. No, it's actually a really good site because it actually gives you almost like it gives you what the Thingiverse should look like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to cult3d.com because it's a completely different website. Go to cult, CULTS3D.com. Fab365, Goose and Kwan, very active member over in our group. You guys may have seen this week in our group that there was a live stream posted from a member of our group doing a resin version of a classic figure, Kenner figure style Mandalorian. Normally we would slap fingers and give warnings about that kind of stuff. But this time we didn't do that. And I'll tell you why, because it was relevant to what we were doing on the site. It's relevant to our audience. It's not something we've done. And I know Chris very well. He's part of the Live Streaming Pros group. Also on Geeks Life. You can go check those out if you're into live streaming and want to know more about geek stuff. They're a great bunch of people over there. Loria, Chris, and David, all great people, and I encourage you to go check them out.
So a couple of people are saying the Thingiverse search kind of works now. So I'm going to try this and just see.
That's exactly what I was just saying. It is working now.
Hey, look at that. Okay, when I first searched, here's what happened. I think I posted a screenshot to the group. I searched, and it gave me nothing. And then to add insult to injury, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just browse it because they got rid of my favorite weekly grouping of cool 3D models. They never should have stopped doing that. So I started to scroll down. The first refresh of 10 items was a repeat of the first 10 items. And then it started giving me new things after that, but it was so random. The reason I printed that Yoda this week, I'm like, I can't be bothered. I'm just going to click it and download it. Maybe that was their plan. But it does look like it's working now. I'm just going to try.
Tina Louise says she's downloaded several things from Thingiverse today. It's a little slow, but it's been working. And yeah, they are a little bit slow. I'm kind of far away from my microphone, but that's okay.
I'm genuinely curious because I know a lot of us are really bad people for this. Bad but good. How many of you are running an ad blocker and trying to access Thingiverse? Because I never had a loading issue with that page. And it's because apparently there's an analytic tracker that hangs up on a lot of people's computers. But I've got a combination of a Pi hole downstairs and an ad blocker on my PC. For sites I want to support, I turn off the ad blocker. But for the most part, it's more pushy than I like these days. So I've had no loading issues with Thingiverse being number one, signed in, and number two, having an ad blocker running. Turn off your ad blocker if you really want to.
As some of you guys know, I've been working on an R2-D2 and on a dome. Now that I'm home this week, I've got plenty of time to work on both. So you guys, if there's anything you want to know about the full-size R2 that I'm doing, you can always drop me a line. The smaller one, the half-scale one, is up on our Patreon page. Want to thank all of our Patreons right now. I didn't get time tonight to do our little scroller at the bottom, so I apologize for that. But I do want to say this, that I do appreciate each and every one of our patrons. And if you want to become a Patreon, you can always go up to our Patreon page and check out what we're doing up there. At the $10 level, you get access literally to everything. We do have a Discord. I'm still working on that for our Patreons at the $10 level. I'm just trying to work out a few tweaks so that you guys will all get the link to that as well. I might even actually open up that to our $5 Patreons. I haven't decided yet, but there's all kinds of great things that you guys will be able to take part in. And that's just one way to support the show. Tonight we are not. For anybody that's watching right now, and I said this at the top of the show, it's worth repeating. Tonight's episode is not monetized. Yes, super chat's turned on, but don't feel that you have to use it. I'd rather you take the money that you would give to us and donate it to one of your local charities that are fighting, especially the food bank right now in your local city or town. The food banks all over the world are struggling to keep up with the demand, especially with people being out of work. And a lot of people that work from paycheck to paycheck or live paycheck to paycheck. Please go ahead and donate to your local food bank if you can. That would make me feel 100 times better than you giving us your money tonight.
Sausage asking, what's it like up there in Iceland, guys? It's muddy. It's really muddy. Yeah. And guess what? More snow is coming on the weekend.
It's very
bizarre.
So
done with this winter.
Normally at this time of the year, we don't. Usually snow's going away and is already gone by the end of the month. When we get into April, we start to get into those April showers. We don't generally see snow at the beginning of April, but we're going to. So that sucks. You can donate blood as well. Yes, give blood if you can. I agree with that 100%. Even here in Canada, they're asking for people to donate. Please go ahead and donate if you can, donate blood. Donate to your local food banks. Help out your hospitals. Do whatever you can to help your fellow man through this pandemic. But at the same time, stay home if you can stay home. Because you may not have it now, but you may get it. No matter where you are, you could pick up the germ from anywhere. So I know I keep harping on this tonight, and it really is something that I feel is very important. The state of the world, we haven't been in this state since World War II, where we've had such, everything kind of grinds to a halt. And although I wasn't alive during World War II, I had an uncle and a grandfather that were. So at the end of the day, I would say to you this: stay at home if you can. If you don't have to go to work and your employer is saying, stay home, stay home. If you can give a little bit to your food bank, I'm sure there's all kinds of ways you can donate to them online. Please check your local municipality to see how you can do that. And if you can go and give blood, go and give blood. I'm done talking about this now.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm done ranting.
It's been a very wearing week for all of us, honestly.
It has.
We're pretty tired here. As you've seen, we haven't had any new episodes here because, frankly, everything's been changing day by day. And I still work from home right now, so to be able to produce content is not as easy as you may think, especially when you're sitting in the same place for 8-9 hours a day. And then to get right back into that same position, you don't want to sit there and play video games on the same computer. You just want to walk away, take a nap, and then prep for the next day. Now, that being said, with both of us at home, where we have more time to produce content, we have less time to collaborate in person as well. So we need to play with some new dynamics, and luckily we have what we need. We just need to get the time rolling, and we want to get you guys good quality content. We had a couple ideas that didn't roll into fruition because, quite frankly, I mean, if I can summarize in a post on Facebook, why would I make a video on it?
Yeah, exactly. This is one thing that we got coming your way, which is, I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see that, but this is for the Creator Max 3D printer. This is the upgrade from the FlashForge Creator 3D Pro or Pro 3D. There's some really kind of cool things. And we're going to talk a lot about that this week on our Wednesday episode. I'm just filming B-roll right now. And
that's one thing you guys are going to see, a bit more B-roll. We've we've been in a bad habit of just doing a single shot rant sometimes. But you guys want to see the close-ups, so we've taken that feedback, and we're the content is going to be better, but it might be a little bit delayed. So we are still striving for our week, but we're going to communicate when we can't make that.
It's going to be so much sexy B-roll.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know what got into me, but I decided to make giant Lego people of the entire crew. So my wife is going to be a Lego person. Brian will be a Lego person. Jess will be a Lego person. And I will be a Lego person. And this is how big they're going to be. So they're not tiny.
Yeah, we're playing with some bigger prints right now. We're going a little bit out of the practical space to fun stuff again. It's been a lot of tweaking. For those of you, well, actually, I haven't really spoken much about my adventures in giant printers, which is I got a real cheap Cr-10 S5, and I've been paying for it, but I'm hoping that I can share my lessons learned with you guys going forward. There's a lot of them, quite a few.
Sorry, it's a lot of work rolling over to the other side of the room. So,
you sure you don't want to turn that R2D2 there into a mobility scooter?
I'm thinking it might be, yeah. I am getting older where I may need one.
Hey, that's my plan for making, what's his name there, the Davros, the Dalek king.
Oh,
there.
yes.
Because then I can just build half a Dalek and I can just go around in a scooter prodding people all day.
There you go. So this is where I'm at with R2's giant dome. You can see we have the two collars on. I have not printed any of the panels yet. Here is the top portion that goes on here for all the little panels. I do have to line this up and get it glued into place. What can I say about this? It's this whole thing right here took a roll and a half of filament to do. Not quite a roll and a half. So if you're thinking about printing and building your own one-to-one scale R2D2 on a 3D printer, the best place to go is Mr. Baddeley's 3D printed droids. He has, if you want to get involved in his Patreon, you're going to get the most up-to-date files. You'll also find files there that are designed to be printed on a much bigger bed and files that can be printed on a much smaller bed. I'm using a combination of the version 2 and version 3 files because I have both of them. This is the version 2 dome. It does go together in 6 pieces on the top. Both rings are 7 pieces, and this top piece is 2 pieces as well. He's done a really good job of putting things together so that everything lines up. There is a little bit of work that has to be done in order to get the seams to work out really well. The glue that I'm using is Weld-On 16. It's a fast set glue. But it is designed to adhere PLA together for anybody that is interested in doing something on this scale. Why am I doing them in yellow? Because actually this is light green. If you if you pay attention to the Spool 3D website, this is supposed to be light green. They did mess up in the color of the manufacturer, so we had a bunch of these rolls, and I asked the boss if I could grab a few rolls and start doing this project, and he said, go ahead. So this is my big summer project. This is where we're at. The smaller R2 for my Patreons, I haven't done much with it. With the pandemic and everything, everything got put on hold because I was thinking I was going to be doing these headbands for a while, but now I can't. So I know that some of our viewers, some places in Canada are accepting them, but I know out here they're not. So, and I cannot ship out across the country. So, yes, this is massive. Tristan, this is a 1-to-1 scale dome. So it is massive, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, this is going to be not only an exercise in 3D printing, but 3D printed assembly and also robotics, because this is a 232 robot, which means that all three legs, the center leg and the the side legs, are all deployed so that he is always in that configuration. Like, let me use this guy as an example. So he will always be in this configuration, so that you can see. And for anybody who doesn't know, this is Artie. Artie is our official first layer droid. Thank you again to Brian and Jess who brought this back from Disneyland for me. And
fun weekend.
not only did they bring it back, but I got to watch them build it on live stream. They actually FaceTimed me, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you again for that, Brian. I really like that. Yes, so this is going to be life-size sausage. Yes. Captain Lachlan, are you going to paint the R2-D2? I absolutely am. He is going to get a paint job like Artie over here. So he's not going to be your traditional R2-D2 droid. I've already worked out a little bit of a backstory for him. A former Imperial droid, now in the hands of a scruffy nerf herder. And this is going to be Artie. Now, Artie stands for R2-T1, so that's his nickname, is Artie. No?
Yeah. No, that works.
That works.
I like
for you?
it. Yeah.
Tristan says, I've been to Spool 3D a few times. I love Spool 3D. When I can get there.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have, like, once this all clears, we need a community get together.
Yes, that will be something that we do as soon as this whole thing is lifted. We will do another community get together here in Calgary for our friends that are local, and we'll do a nice afternoon thing. I'll probably rent a room or someplace that we can go and sit and BS and talk about 3D printing, and you guys can ask me questions and I can ask you questions. And Sausage is asking, will I be able to drive him around? Yes. That's the long-term goal. Yes.
So for follow-up from last week, is no point in wasting airtime tomorrow. Trivia question. The answer was, this is Black Arachnia from Beast Wars. And what I had found with my printer after last week and everyone's discussion with these layer lines is that I think I was just squishing the first layer too much. Pardon me. Woo!
Oh, Brian's quarantined now.
Yeah, there you go. But I think I was squishing the first layer a bit too much, and then it would just catch up with itself every few layers because I went and reprinted a few cubes at the same resolution after the fact, and it's humming away happily. So
now, what printer did you do that on again?
that was on the Ender 3 XL, the giant one that we showcased during the Direct Drive mod video.
Gotcha.
That head is very heavy. And another issue I had this week, okay, here's a fun one for you guys. This thing weighs a metric ton, and it's because I had enabled a feature that actually puts infill inside, or it puts supports inside your model. And I had tree supports in there, so it combined tree supports with regular infill and created this hefty brick.
Now, how much infill is in that thing?
It was only 10%, but I think it weighs like 500 grams, this thing.
Holy cow.
It's a bowling ball.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm just going to... Jim from Edutech was asking, what do you think of Octafarm? Now, I only saw this, honestly, as the title of Tim Hoogland's latest video. Truth be told, I'm really not a fan of remote printing services, honestly, when it comes to managing your printer remotely. My machines aren't dialed in enough to remote control it. I like to be there for the start of everything. So the multi-instance management and everything, I don't know. I print such long print jobs. I'm not starting ones every 2 hours of my day. So I
think if I was doing something production wise, I think it would make sense.
Mhm.
but for me, I'm not, and all my printers are different. So like I've got the Lotmaxx, I've got the Creality Cr-10, I've got the Ender 3. What else do I've got a Wanhao, and I've got now I've got that Creator Max.
Mhm.
So, in all honesty, I really, yeah, to me, it wouldn't make any sense.
And truth be told, with the filament prices right now, I can't afford to have all 8 of my machines going full time unless there's a darn good reason. I've got my Ender 5 behind me here, which literally Richard and I bought it. We upgraded it in the studio. I brought it home. A, uh, I printed one little model, and then I sat it in a corner because I haven't had any time to even slice up files for it. Right now, the stuff I'm slicing up, even with my 6 core system, is taking almost 20 minutes to slice the files. And we're
Oh
talking,
wow,
two. Yeah, I mean, it's big parts. It's on the 10S5, right?
gotcha.
So when you're doing tree supports, it hangs up heavily. So I was experimenting with some of the new features in Cura, such as conical supports and I'm trying to remember what they called it. It was like a pyramid or some kind of tower for supports to make a wider base, and then go to something smaller. It just caused nothing but problems. So I'm back to tree supports, but it does take a long, long time to figure out those routing paths.
Yeah, it sure does.
If any of
I
the uh, if any of the developers are listening here for Cura, please just put a little timer in the corner, or at least give me a thing saying 20% calculating supports, and then the next one. Give me something to show that it's doing something in the background.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I want to know what our viewers tonight are printing. What do you guys got on your printers right now? If you're not printing, masks for your local healthcare service, what are you
And
guys
if you are
printing?
running masks, tell us about it.
Yeah, yeah, we want to know what you guys are printing. Post some pictures over on our Facebook as well. Um,
Sausage, I think I've got a shop vac here that would actually fit inside that perfectly.
I have a shop vac that would fit inside this
It's a
perfectly.
little purple machine, too.
There you go. After I do this one, I would really like to do a chopper from Rebels. For anybody that's familiar with Star Wars Rebels, it's the animated series that just ended a couple of years ago now. But good information that I found out today for anybody that's a Star Wars fan and is especially a fan of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, and Rebels. Ahsoka Tano is going to be making her live action debut in The Mandalorian second season.
Oh, I'm
Um,
so excited.
yeah, me too. And it's the actress playing her is one of my favorite actresses, Rosario Dawson. So make sure you guys, if you're a fan of the Mandalorian on Disney Plus, make sure you check that out. It's coming out in October, I believe, the new season 2. It is wrapped already on filming. Um, we may be seeing. From my understanding, we're going to see some epic lightsaber battles. So we're going to see Moff Gideon with the dark saber battling somebody with a lightsaber. I can only assume it's going to be Ahsoka. What else? And I'm a big Star Wars nut, so I love printing Star Wars stuff. Um, so it's this is going to be something that's going to be really epic in season 2, and it can only go further from there. So I encourage everybody to watch it.
And for those of you that are allowed to watch a bit more mature content, Westworld Season 3 is out right now. And I'm sorry, the opening alone is close enough to 3D printing that I say, you gotta watch this show. It is messed up. But it's really twisted. And let's
I
be
haven't even
honest, this
watched
summer.
season 2 yet.
Oh, okay. It gets really, really good. Now, Season 1 does have a little bit of a slowness, but guys and gals, realistically, we're looking at probably the next 4 months of instability in the world. Let's find some good programs to watch instead of our 3D printers. So, you know what? I might rewatch Mando season 1. It was so good, but there was so much to absorb.
I've
I
watched The Mandalorian season 1 3 times already.
Did you catch the toilet?
Yes,
You see, they
yes, I did.
finally solved the question of the world.
Yeah,
Where do they use the restroom?
yeah.
There are toilets.
There are there. What did he call it? What did the guy call him? I can't remember the name now. Refuse or not the refuse. Extractor. Where's the extractor? That's all kinds of bad things. So
Mhm.
I think this summer we should try and print an extractor.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sausage says he couldn't get into the cowboy element of the show. Sausage, that's what Star Wars is.
Oh no,
The
he's talking
original.
about Westworld.
Oh, Westworld. Oh, okay.
Here's the thing about Westworld. Okay, I'm without spoiling anything. After season one, it is not really about cowboys.
That
That's
was
as much as I'll give it there.
well. If you
If you
watched
got
the
if you
original
got to watch,
movie, go ahead.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. If you watch the original movie, it's the entirety of Westworld season one.
Yeah.
If you guys are having a tough time getting into that show, I'll tell you what to do. Watch the first episode, first two episodes if you feel like it, and then jump to about the third or fourth last episode of that season. There's a lot of building up to that, but a lot of the information you need going forward happens in those last few episodes. Plus, I mean, Anthony Hopkins. Come on, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he was Odin and Hannibal Lecter.
Maybe he's both.
Maybe. So yeah, I think we should. Going back to Westworld, if you ever watched the original movie from the '70s, which I did because I'm a child of the '60s, so I got to see it in the '70s. The original movie takes place over a Western theme park, and they only get into some of the other theme parks very briefly as the heroes are running through the Dallos Corporation
Mm-hmm.
playland, as would be a best way to describe it. And then Westworld 2 was more of that, and they showed off more of the other playlands. But in terms of Westworld, the series, I like what they did in the first season. I know that the second season picks up right after the first season ends. Where it goes, I have no idea. All I know is Dolores is batshit crazy. And for all of our younger viewers, I'm sorry, but she's batshit nuts.
You think she's crazy season two? Wait till you see season three.
Okay.
If you guys are a fan of the progression of what's her name there?
Dolores?
No, in Resident Evil, what's her name there? Alice. If
Alice.
you are in favor of the progression of power and control of your abilities, Westworld goes that route. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Let's get back to the topic here. Tina Louise won 143rd. It should be third, not 143rd. Okay. Never mind. Says, I got to do some mods to the new bed springs I added to my Ender 3. One side of the bed will not get low enough, and they are tight. Are all four springs the exact same? Make sure that all four springs are the exact same, and you should be able to
have
solve
you
that issue.
have you squared your Z gantry?
Yes, that's the other X on the
Because-
gantry.
Oh, this happens so often to me. You guys have no idea. Print yourself some sizer blocks. I think Richard has some links he can post to our Facebook group there. Print some sizer blocks and make sure your gantry is level, because if it's not, chances are your bed is still going to be too tilted with it screwed all the way in. Remember at the end of the day that it's a balance between that X gantry's alignment and the bed's alignment.
There you go.
And if you guys didn't see my post on Facebook today, I will quickly catch you up. AliExpress is having a big sale starting today there, and you're going to be waiting for a bit, so you might as well find some cool things to order. I ordered my first powder-coated PEI sheet because I found a seller that makes one in a 508 millimeter by 508 millimeter one. It's huge. So
How much?
it was like $100 Canadian.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah. Normally it's like 120. So and they've got a whole bunch of coupons on right now too. I'll send you a link in the chat Tell me what you guys think there. But this might be a good time to get some of those cool parts. I think the next big sale after this one's 11/11.
There you go.
I always mess them all up, but yeah, check out the cool stuff they've got there. If everyone's fine with it, I'm going to tell you right now, it's an affiliate link that helps out the first layer. Doesn't increase your price, just gets us a little bit kickback there, but you can always browse the AliExpress directly.
There you go. What else we got going on? Captain Lachlan says, I use Lego bricks to level my head of my printer. Okay.
Yeah, that works.
Hey, if it works.
Any fixed size block, as long as you can
Yeah.
make both sides the same size,
Yeah.
why not? If you've got 2 rods that are a good length, just use that.
I was going to do some stuff on the Ender 3, but my Ender 3 is still at Spool 3D, and I won't be back there for a week. So until I bring that one home, I'm not going to be doing anything on the Ender 3. But I will be doing some stuff on my Cr-10 S here. I made some minor changes to it recently, and now I want to make some bigger changes to it. And first and foremost, of course, is going to be that darn pain in my butt filament switch. I've got 2 choices to try. The first one will be the latest from Big Tree. I have the Big Tree one here at home, and
That's the smart one, yeah?
yes, and I'm going to see how I can integrate that with the stock board if I can. If not, then I will be going to the Triangle Labs
Triangle
one
Labs.
that you put on. Yeah.
Yep, the one that I'm still using behind me on this machine and the one downstairs. It's a darn good sensor, but here's why you might want to look at the Big Tree Tech one. Is because I've had some filament break after the runout sensor.
Okay.
If that breaks, how do you know? And that's the question we're hoping this thing's going to solve. So stay tuned, because
Okay.
if Richard's not going to make a video on it, I sure as hell will.
Well, we'll see exactly how I set up these 2 different ones. I will be putting them on the Cr-10. We're going to clean off the space here a little bit. We're switching computers out this week. This computer that I've been using on over here is going to go upstairs. I found an app that will allow me to do time lapses using a Windows 10 computer and a webcam.
Oh,
So I'm going to be taking this one upstairs into the room where we're setting up all of our B-roll. So it's going to do some time lapses on some printers. So yeah, we'll be shuffling printers in and out there pretty soon.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. That's kind of why we're delayed right now, is because we had to change up a lot to
Yeah.
accommodate our current conditions. I've luckily got my machines here. I had a few things break and a few things that didn't. And I luckily had some really good friends that were able to run an order or 2 in for me. Online shipping is kind of dead for the stuff I need right now. So we're doing the best we can. That being said, though, if there is something you guys are interested in us covering, please let us know, because especially if we have the capability of doing it, we'll go ahead and do it just for the fun of it, because
Yeah, absolutely.
we've got time to kill now.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's something you want to see us print and talk about, if we can do an upgrade on one of our machines, we will do it for you if we've got the parts. If not, then we'll get into some fun projects over this next little while, show you what we printed, how we printed it, what materials, and I'm going to get back into talking a little bit more about Cura as well. This gives me a lot of time as well to finish writing my online course for you guys. Which will be a introduction to 3D printing. It was going to be the Grumpy Old Guy's Guide to 3D Printing, but my wife didn't like that title. So it will be a thing that you guys can purchase and download all the videos for yourself. There'll be a whole package there along with questions and PDFs and all kinds of things that I've been working on for you guys. So it will cover advanced topics like not only Cura, but Simplify 3D, and I might get into the Prusa Slicer. I haven't decided yet. I still have to play with it a little bit more.
And you'll see a lot more of these really cute little, come on, there we go, first layer cubes, which I admit I have actually started using this one a lot more, just because, let's see, there we go.
There you go.
Just because You know what? I love the font. I won't lie. I love that X. That is a gorgeous X.
That is, that is the same font we use in our title.
No, you learn. This he's the one there. He's the one that does all the graphics design work. I don't know.
He just uses it.
Yes.
So we're coming to the end. I want to just move us over to this next shot here real quick, because
Get a rare shot.
there
Oh.
get it ready. So we're both here. So this is where you guys can find us if you're not a member of our Facebook group, and we've had a ton of people join our Facebook group in the last little while. But if you're not there yet, go ahead and join our group over on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, you're going to get a lot of great people over there that can help you with a problem. Not all the time am I able to help you with your problem. I have experience in this field, but I don't have all the answers. And there are a lot of people in that group that are even smarter than I am. You can also follow us on Instagram, where you will see pictures of things like this and some behind the scenes stuff. You can join us you can follow me on Twitter. I don't do a whole lot on Twitter, but you can follow me on Twitter. And then of course right here on our YouTube page, the first layer, you can always become a subscriber if you're not a subscriber yet. Hit that like button. Also go ahead and leave a comment down below. Comments all help us out at the end of the day with the metrics, not so much the money, but the metrics. And like I said at the top of the show and then halfway through, tonight's episode was not monetized, and we did that for a reason, to show our support for the frontline people that are out there every day helping to keep each and every one of us healthy, wealthy, and wise, or maybe not wealthy, but healthy and wise. So if you can do this for your local community, make these headbands, go ahead. If you can't, and you're not sure, go ahead and just check with your local municipality and see if they are accepting them. So Brian, anything you want to say before we cut out for tonight?
Well, I think tonight is all about awareness, as we said,
Yeah.
and as a 3D printing community, that's exactly what we are. So, if you haven't already checked out the latest videos from Joel, the 3D printing nerd, and various other people who are working, who have been accepted to print off these materials, support them, give them a thumbs up, and show them that their efforts aren't, and I don't think those videos are monetized either, truth be told, last time I checked.
I don't think they are either.
Support these guys, and in your local community, if there is a way, bring your hobby out and show it how you can contribute what you've learned here and elsewhere to your community. We're all in this together. We're fighting this as a species, and we'll defeat this as a species.
Absolutely. I agree 100% with that. But you know what? It is a couple minutes before 8, so what I want to say to you guys is we're going to be back here tomorrow night for our regular Ask for Help live stream. Get your questions into questions@askforhelp.com. We're going to take them right up until almost showtime tomorrow. We'll put them into a document so both Brian and I can have a look at them, and we'll go from there. But we will be back with you again tomorrow night, as usual, on a Saturday night, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And until we see you guys tomorrow, this might look a little different again tomorrow. It might be different lighting again tomorrow.
We'll try and have something printed to show off, because
yeah. Like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, and go check out some of our other stuff on our channel as well. Go check out Joel, the 3D printing nerd. Check out all of the 3D printing gurus that are out there, including Uncle Jesse. Who else do I want to mention? Really quickly off the top of my head, Angus over at Maker's Muse, Tom at Tom's 3D, Stefan over at CNC Kitchen. Go check all these guys out. They're all great educators. Also Chuck from Filament Friday. Go check him out as well. Or Shep, whichever you prefer.
Shep, yes.
All these guys are great guys. They're very knowledgeable. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to them as well. I know I normally don't say that. A few guys here in our room that I want to drive attention to. Edge of Tech is another great channel. Also 3D printing and painting. That's Jerry's channel. Who am I missing here? Who am I missing?
Let's see. Well, we got the list down. Yeah, because everyone's disconnecting now. That's what happens. That's what happens when you leave early. Leave early, you don't get a call out.
Yeah. If you leave early, you don't get a call out. So go check out Jim and all the guys over at Edge of Tech, and you know what? Have fun. Give them your support because we're here to support you guys, and we hope that you're here to support us. Until we see you guys tomorrow night, remember that the first layer is always your foundation to a great print. Good night.
Stay safe. Clean your hands.